Hello, good morning dear students. Welcome in commerce stream. Now that is today our is a first lesson for 11th commerce class and for accountancy class. As you know, the other subjects physics, chemistry, maths, geography, social study, all other subject you have studied up to level 10th already, but commerce and accountancy is the new stream, new subject for you all. That's why this subject you have to start with the zero level, at initial level. So this concept we will discuss here one by one so you can understood properly. I'm teaching you here theoretical as well as a practical, both the concept. I hope you will understood properly one by one. Now I'm starting chapter 3rd, recording of transaction first. Chapter 1st and chapter 2nd both are the theoretical chapters, and both these both chapter we will, whatever the concept given in chapter 1st and chapter 2nd, we will discuss with the chapter 3rd and chapter 4. Chapter 3rd and chapter 4 we will complete chapter 1st and chapter 2nd. One by one we will discuss here. I hope you understood properly. So our first concept is basic term. The first concept is the basic term. These three are the basic term. The first is accountancy, that is the name of your subject. Second, accounting, it is the process of accounting work. And third, account, it is the summary of a recorded transaction. Now one by one understood these three concepts. The first concept is accountancy. What is accountancy? Because you are studying the subject accountancy, someone can ask you, what do you understand by the accountancy and why are you studying the subject accountancy? So as your answer, I'm telling you what will be your answer. So your accountancy, it include all those rules and principles which are used for accounting work. Point to be noted. It include, I am telling the meaning of accountancy. It include all those rules and principles which are used for accounting work. Suppose you are working in a organization as an accountant. So what rules and principle will be used for recording, summarizing the transaction in the business? So all these rules and principle are given in the book of accountancy. So your definition will be, accountancy includes all those rules and principles which are used for accounting work. It is a process of managing income, expenses, profit and losses, liabilities and assets of the organization. As you are operating a business, so there is possibility, something may be income, something may be expenses, something may be losses, something may be profits, something may be liabilities for you, something may be assets for you. To all income, expenses, profit, loss, assets, liability, to managing all these terms, expenses, income, profit, loss, liabilities and assets of the organization, to manage these all terms, it is a process of accountancy. So your definition will be, it includes all those rules and principles which are used for accounting work. It is a process of managing income, expenses of a business organization in a comprehensive system. This is your definition, and as I have provided you also note, this definition is clearly written in the notes. The second, I hope you understood the meaning of accountancy. The second word is accounting. What is accounting? What is accounting? So your definition will be, it is a process of identifying, classifying, identifying, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing and communicating to the users. Listen, important point, accounting. What do you mean by the accounting? So your answer will be, accounting is a process of identifying, recording, accounting is a process of identifying, making vouchers, recording the transaction, classifying the transactions, accuracy test of a transaction, summarizing the transaction, analyzing and communicating to the transaction for the users for financial information, the interested users. Is it clear? Again, accounting is a process of identifying, recording, classifying, summarizing, analyzing and communicating financial information to the interested users. It reveals profit or loss for a given period. Given period is 1 year. That start always from April 1st to 31st March of next session. It reveals profit or loss for a given period. Given period is for 1 year. It always start from April 1st to 31st March of the next year, and the value and nature of firm's assets, liabilities and owner's equity or capital. That is the meaning of accounting, as I have provided in you notes. You can learn it right now. Now we will discuss the most important point, that is that suppose you have appointed as an accountant in a organization. Suppose you have appointed as an accountant in a company or in a organization. How will you maintain the accounting record of the organization? For this purpose, we follow a process that is called the accounting process. So now the topic is the accounting process. How the transactions are recorded, how the transactions are maintained one by one, that is the complete step as if you are working as an accountant. So your first point, identify business transaction. The first step is identify the business transaction. Point to be noted here, transactions may be two types. Transactions may be two types, economic and non-economic. There are two types of transactions, economic and non-economic, financial or non-financial. How these transactions will be identified? Point to be noted here. Economic transactions are those transactions which can be measured in terms of money. Suppose air conditioner machine purchased rupees 50,000. We can measure the value of air conditioner machine rupees 50,000. You purchased a counter for rupees 30,000. That is the furniture. So we can measure the value of counter rupees 30,000. That is an economic transaction. You purchased a car for rupees 10 lakh. We can measure the value of car. How much? That is the rupees 10 lakh. So any transactions which value can be measured in term of money is called the economic transactions. I hope you understood. What is the economic transaction? Any transactions which can be measured in term of money is called the economic or financial transaction. The second is non-economic or non-financial transaction. Point to be noted, any transaction which cannot be measured in term of money. Any transaction which cannot be measured in term of money is termed as non-economic or non-financial transaction. For example, you take help from your friend. Can I take your pen? And he offer you, yes, please. After using the particular pen, you will return to your friend. You have made a transaction between your friend. Can you tell the value of this transaction? Can you tell me the value of this transaction? No, because this transaction is for helping purpose. In your office, your customer come and you service a glass of water. You service a cup of tea to the customer or your clients. Can you measure the value of tea or a glass of water? No. This is the transaction we are making only for the purpose of owner of the particular customer or client. So he can connected with us in future. Is it clear? We cannot measure the value of the particular transaction. So that kind of transaction termed as the non-economic transaction. Are you understanding? Why the transaction is identified here? Point to be note. Why the transaction to be identified? Reason. In the business, only economic transactions are recorded. Non-economic transactions never be recorded in the book. Are you understanding? In business or in the book of accounting, only economic transactions are recorded. Non-economic transactions never be recorded in the book. That's why we identify the transaction. Only economic transactions will be recorded. Non-economic transaction will never be recorded. I hope you understood the concept first. The second is the making vouchers. The second step is after identify the transaction, that is economic or non-economic. If that particular transaction is non-economic, we will not need to record. We will not need to create any kind of voucher. But if the transaction is economic, we next need to making the voucher. What is voucher? Voucher is a written future evidence. Point to be noted. Voucher is a written future evidence of transaction that we have done at present time. Suppose air conditioner machine purchased from a customer. You will pay rupees 30,000 to the vendor, and after paying 30,000 you will get a receipt. You will get a receipt. That receipt is the evidence that you have paid rupees 30,000 to the vendor. That is called the voucher. Any customer, you are receiving money from your customer, we will give a cash receipt to the particular customer. That is a voucher. Voucher are prepared in two copies. One copies we have keep with us and one copy gives to the customer and the party. That is called the voucher, because this is a written evidence. It can be used for future evidence that particular transaction has been done at the present time. So if any transaction we have done, we need to making the voucher of a particular transaction as a future evidence. That is the second condition. The third step is recording of transactions. That now we are discussing this topic. Recording of transactions first. Point to be noted, for recording of transaction, this process is called journal. Now we are studying about the concept of journal. Recording of transaction first or journal. After making the voucher, the third step is recording of a transaction. And transactions are recorded in the book of journal. The book in which transactions are recorded is called journal. How the transactions are recorded, here we will discuss one by one topic. Okay, after completing the process of accounting. After recording the business transaction, the fourth step is the classification of transaction. Classification means the transaction we are making every day, and every day we record the transactions. Suppose salary we are paying monthly basis. At the last step we need how much salary we had paid during the year. How much salary we had paid during the, to find out the report of salary, how much we had paid, how much is outstanding. We make the ledgers, we make the account, we make the ledgers. That is called the classification of a transaction or ledger. Ledger means the same nature transaction record, or account is a process, or account refer a summary of same nature transaction. It means same nature transaction we will record the same place. So the particular concept or particular account had reported, find out. Is it clear? That is called the classification of a transaction. To classify the transaction, that process is utilized ledger. We will create the ledger or we will create the account. Okay. The next fifth step, after create classification of transaction or after making the ledgers, the next step is accuracy test. As a human being, there may be possibility of some mistakes by us. Maybe suppose you want to write 5,000, but 10 you have written more and it has 50,000. You want to write 10,000 and it has less 10, you have written down there 1,000. As a human being, there is a possibility in some, for having some mistakes in accounts. So we need to find out, is there any mistake or not. To find out of mistakes or arithmetical mistakes, we need to the next process, accuracy test. And accuracy test is making by the trial balance. We make a statement in which debit must be equal to credit. If debit is equal to credit, it means there is no any kind of arithmetical mistake. If your trial balance is matching, it means there is no arithmetical mistake. It is not the proof that there is no mistake, but it is the proof there is no arithmetical mistake. Is it clear? So here, after classification of transaction, the next step is accuracy test, and it is find out by the making trial balance. These all are the separate chapter. Journal is the separate chapter, ledger is the separate chapter, trial balance is the separate chapter. Later on, after preparing trial balance, the next step is summarizing the transactions. All the transactions we have done during the year, we will summarize all these, and we will find the net profit and net loss of the organization, how much profit firm has earned and what loss incurred by the firm during the year. We will find by summarizing the transaction. To summarize the transaction, finance account are prepared, financial statement are prepared, profit and loss account, trading account, balance sheet. We will discuss. This is a separate chapter. And the last step, step number 7, after find out net profit and net loss of the organization, the last step is the analyzing the report. Analyzing means the profit, whatever we have planned at the initial time, the profit the firm has earned profit as per the planned or not. That is called the analyzing the transaction and communicating to the users. Users means who are the interested candidate for financial reporting, like creditors, debtors, bank, owner. These are the interested users. We will communicate the report. That is called the report. I hope you understood the accounting process. If you are working in a organization, you have to follow these 7 steps to complete record of the transaction. If any kind of query, you can ask me by comment or by call. Thank you. Later on, Now we will discuss most important, these 2 points, accountancy and accounting process we have discussed here. Now the next point is third, account. This is the most important point for recording, maintaining the accounting records. So what is the account and how it works? So here, account. What is account? Listen. Account, also known as ledger. Account, also known as ledger. Is it clear? Account is a summary of same nature transactions at one place. I told you, salary is paying on monthly basis. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. All 12 months starting from April to 31st March of next month. Salary is paid 12 times during the year. At the end of the year, we will find how much salary has been paid to the employees. That report we can find out through the account or ledger. Because all the transaction related to summary, we will record at one place. We will summarize at one place. That is called the account. So definition of account. Account is a summary of same nature transactions at one place. I hope you understood the concept account. These are the basic terms. Now we will discuss how the transactions are recorded. To record the transaction, first we need to basic concept account. What is the account? What are the types of account? Which account included in the different types? We will discuss here one by one. So your point is, now we will discuss about the concept account. As I told you definition, what is account? Now the concept is types of accounts. There are two types of accounts. There are two types of accounts. The first is personal account and the second is impersonal account. Impersonal account. There are two types of account, personal account and second impersonal account. Impersonal account also, personal account has also three types. Personal account has three types. The first is natural person's account. The second, artificial person's account, and third, representative person's account. Personal account is furtherly divided in three. First, natural person's account, second, artificial person's account, and third, representative person account. While impersonal account divided furtherly in two parts. The first is real account and second is nominal account. Are you understanding the concept types of account? First, there are two types of account, personal account and second impersonal account. Personal account furtherly divided in three types: natural person account, artificial person account, and representative person account. While impersonal account furtherly divided in two parts, real account and a nominal account. Is it clear? How to identify the particular account is personal account, natural account, artificial account, representative account, real account or nominal account. We will discuss some important rule to identify the particular account. So here, personal account include the account which are related to persons. Personal account includes the account which is related to persons. Is it clear? Persons. Persons may be three types. Persons may be three types. These three are: first, natural person; second, artificial person; and third, representative person. Listen here one by one. What is the natural person? Natural person are those person who come to existence on the earth by natural birth. Listen, who include in the natural person? Natural person are those person who come to existence on the earth by natural birth, like Ram, Shyam, Mohan, Sita, Gita, Ganesh, Rohan, John. All individual persons who has physical existence like us are termed as a natural person. Is it clear? Because all of us come to existence on the earth by natural birth. Is it clear? So natural person includes all those accounts who come to existence on the earth by natural person. For example, Ram, Shyam, Mohan, Sita, Garima. These all are the natural personal account. Any human being account. Is it clear? That is termed as a natural personal account. The second, artificial personal account. Artificial person. What do you mean by the artificial person? We will discuss here. Point to be noted. Artificial persons are those persons who come to existence by the process of law, not as natural. Point to be noted. Artificial persons are those persons who come to existence by the process of law. It include all institutional account. It include all institutional account. Institutional may be related to a company like Google Limited, Reliance Limited, Samsung Limited, Idea Limited, Airtel Limited. These all are the name of companies. These all are the institute, and these have a existence as a artificial person, because these all the companies are created in the process of law, not by the natural person. Is it clear? All the bank, State Bank of India account, Punjab National Bank account, Axis Bank account, ICICI Bank account, SDFC Bank account, all the bank has come to existence by the process of law. So all the bank account are the institutional account, and all the institutional account are termed as the artificial person account. Is it clear? The next, school account. Delhi Public School account, Harmanji Union Public School account, Goenka Public School account, Dehradun Public School account. These all are the schools, and all the schools come to existence by the process or registration as per the law. So all the schools account are termed as the artificial person account. Later on, all college account, Sri Ram College account, Mohandas College account, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay College account. These all are the colleges created by the process of law. So all the college account are termed as the artificial person account. All the university like Delhi University, Dehradun University, Panipat University, Rajasthan University, These all the universities are created by the process of law. So all the university account also has the artificial person account. And other soaps, firms, Ram and Sham Traders, Fashion Mart, Gupta Traders, Mohan Traders, Parul Beauty Parlor, Rohan Beauty Parlor. These all the soaps has a artificial existence as per the process of law. So all the soaps and firms, company, bank, university, college, school are termed as a artificial persons, and all the account related to company, related to bank, related to college, school, university, and a soap, firm, or hospital, club, library are termed as a artificial persons account. I hope you understood artificial persons. These all persons are created by the process of law. The third person is the representative person. Who include in the representative person? So point to be noted. Representative persons include the account related to the group of a certain person. A group of a certain person. For example, outstanding salary. For example, outstanding salary, prepaid salary, owner's account, capital account, drawings account. These all are the representative account. Point to be noted, capital, drawings, outstanding salary, prepaid salary, accrued expenses, unearned income, these all account are termed as a representative person, because the outstanding salary represent a group of persons, group of employees who has not paid salary yet. Prepaid salary, the group of employees who had paid salary in advance. Capital represent the owner. How much amount is invested by the owner? This capital account represent the investment amount by the owner. Drawing represent the how much amount owner withdraw for personal use from the firm. These all are the representative account. These represent a group of persons or a certain persons. I hope you understood the representative account. Personal account we have discussed here. Complete. The golden rule related to personal account. Golden rule for recording the transaction as per personal account. As per personal account. Listen here. Debit the receiver. Rule. That is the rule. Debit the receiver. Credit the giver. Point to be noted. If we are talking about a person, person may be natural, may be artificial, or may be representative. He can do only two works. He may be receiver or he may be giver. He has only two options. He may be giver or he may be receiver. If the particular person is receiver, if the particular person is receiver, we will debit. And if the particular person is giver, we will credit. Is it clear? A person has only two options. He may be giver or he may be receiver. He may be receiver or he may be giver. If he is giving to us, he will be credit. And he is receiving from us, he will be debit. So your rule will be debit the receiver, credit the giver. Are you understanding the concept properly? This is the golden rule of personal account. All these three accounts, natural account, artificial, represent, this rule will be applicable, because all these persons has two options, receiver or giver. If they are receiver, it will be debited, and if they are giver, it will be credited. For example, just try to understand example. Furniture purchased rupees 80,000 from Rohan. Here the Rohan is a individual person. Are you understanding? Rohan is a natural person and all the natural account include in personal account. Now what the activity is doing by the Rohan? Rohan is a giver. Listen, देखो, furniture purchased. We have purchased furniture from Rohan. Rohan is giver. Rohan is giver and the account of giver is credited. Credit the giver. So Rohan account will be credited. In other way, machinery sold to Dinesh. Machinery sold to Dinesh rupees 50,000. In such condition, Dinesh is a personal account. Dinesh is a personal account because he is a natural person. What he is doing in this transaction? Dinesh is receiving because machinery sold to Dinesh. We have sold the machinery to the Dinesh. Dinesh is third person. So Dinesh is receiving the machine. So he will be receiver and the receiver account will be debit. So Dinesh account will be debit. Are you understand the concept of personal account properly and a golden rule of personal account properly? Now we will discuss the next. Next is impersonal account. Listen. Impersonal account include all account except personal account. Impersonal account includes all account except personal. Except these account. Except these account. Other than personal account are termed as impersonal account. Is it clear? Impersonal account furtherly divided in two parts. Real account and nominal account. What is the real account and what is the nominal account? Listen here. Real account are those account which are related to assets. Listen. Real account are those account which are related to assets. All assets. Assets or properties. All the account which are related to assets are termed as real account. Is it clear? Like land, building, plant, machinery, furniture, equipment, motor car, buses, laptop, computers, printing machine. These all are the assets, right? If you are operating a business in your office or in your plant, there may be assets, land and building, plant and machinery, equipment, motor car, laptop, computers, furniture and other machinery. These all are the assets, right? These all account are termed as real account because these all are the assets and all the assets account are termed as a real account. Now the most important point, assets and what are included in assets. Assets may be two types. Assets may be two types. Assets may be two types. First, fixed assets and second, current assets. Fixed assets and current assets. Assets are, there are two types of assets, fixed assets and current assets. Furtherly, fixed assets again divided in two types. Fixed assets again divided in two types, tangible assets and second, intangible assets. Now we will discuss here one by one. What is assets? First we needed to what is assets. Okay, so assets include all properties which can be used for generation of a profit. Point. Assets includes all tangible and intangible properties or resources. Assets are those tangible and intangible resources which are used for generation of profit or income. Are you understanding? Whatever resources in the firm which is used for generation of profit for the organization or business are termed as assets. Is it clear? The definition of assets. Now assets is divided in two parts, fixed assets and current assets. Fixed assets also divided in two types, tangible assets and intangible assets. So here fixed assets. Fixed assets are those assets which can be used more than 12 months or more than one accounting period. Any kind of assets which can be used for more than one accounting period or more than 12 months are termed as fixed assets. For example, land and building. Land can be used more than 12 months. Building can be used more than 12 months. Plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, laptop, computer, motor car, these all are the fixed assets. These all assets can be used more than 12 months. This is termed as a fixed assets. In other way, current assets, later on, the types of fixed assets. Fixed assets can be divided in two parts, tangible assets as well as intangible assets. Tangible assets are those fixed assets which can be seen or touched. For example, land and building, plant and machinery, furniture and fixtures, office equipment, motor car, computer, laptop, printing machine, stationery machine. These all are the fixed tangible assets, and tangible assets include all those assets which can be seen or touched. I hope you understood. And the second, intangible assets. Intangible assets are those fixed assets which cannot be seen or touched. For example, but only can be felt. For example, goodwill, patent, trademark, copyright. These all are the intangible fixed assets. Goodwill, a person is good. That is a goodwill of particular person. A company, the company is very good. Company is getting more profit every year. That is the goodwill of particular company. But we cannot see. We can only felt the goodwill of particular organization, that the particular company is good or not. If the particular company is good, it means the company's goodwill is very good. That is a property, that is a fixed assets of the particular company. That is termed as intangible assets. Goodwill, patent, copyright, trademark, license, these all are the intangible fixed assets. I hope you understood fixed assets. And the second is the current assets. Current assets are those assets which can be used less than 12 months or one accounting period. Any assets which can be used less than one accounting period or less than 12 months are termed as current assets. For example, cash at bank, debtors, creditors, bills receivable, these all are the point included in the current assets. Debtor, the person to whom we sold goods in credit. Bills receivable we will discuss later. Cash at bank, stock, goods, these all are the current assets. because all these assets can be used less than 1 year. Is it clear? I hope you understood the concept of real account. Real account include all assets account, whether tangible, intangible, fixed or current. All the account related to assets include in the real account. And now the rule of real account. Rule of a real account. Debit what may come in. That is the rule. Credit what may goes out. That is the golden rule of a real account. The transactions are recorded as per the golden rule. So here, listen. Debit what may come in. Whatever is coming in your business will be debit. Whatever. Suppose purchased a machine rupees 10,000. So in your business machine is coming. So machine account will be debit. And cash is outgoing from your business. Whatever is outgoing from credit what may goes out. Whatever is outgoing from your business, it will be credited. So here example, machine purchased rupees 50,000. Is it clear? Machinery purchased. Machinery is coming in your business. It will be debit. And cash will be outgoing from your business, because cash is also assets. Cash will be outgoing from your business. That's why cash will be credit. That's why cash will be credit. Is it clear? So this is your rule. Debit what may come in and credit what may goes out. Whatever is coming in your business will be debited, and whatever is outgoing from your business will be credited. That is the golden rule of a real account. As you understand with example, another example, car purchased, car sold rupees 3 lakh for cash. Here car is a assets and cash is also assets. Car is outgoing because car sold to third person. Car is outgoing from your business. That's why it will be credited. Car will be credited as per rule. Credit what may goes out. Whatever is outgoing from your business will be credited. Cash is coming your business, and whatever is coming in your business will be debited. So cash account will be debited. Cash account will be debited as per the rule of a real account. I hope you understood the golden rule of real account and what account are included in the real account. The last, nominal account. We will discuss here nominal account. Nominal account includes income, profit, expenses, losses. So here your definition for nominal account. Nominal account include all accounts which are related to income, profit, expenses and losses. As you know, if you are operating any kind of business, you have to done some income and you have to done some expenses to operating the business organization. Is it clear? Suppose as expenses, you have to pay electricity bill, you have to pay the telephone bill, you have to pay salary, you have to pay wages to the workers, you have to pay stationery expenses, you have to other any expenses. Whatever expenses by particular name, salary paid to employee. If employees are working in your organization, we have to pay salary. Salary is an expenses. If we are taking loan from bank, we have to pay interest on loan. The interest on loan is a expenses for this. If we are paying commission to any partner, any person, that commission is your expenses. As if we are paying interest, commission, salary, bonus, rent, that is an expenses for you. But if we are receiving these from other, like commission received, if commission we are receiving, that is an income. If commission we are paying to third party, that is an expenses. If we are receiving rent, rent is an income. If we are paying rent to party, that is an expenses for us. So point to be noted, expenses may be by any name: rent, commission, bonus, interest, electricity bill, audit fees, telephone bill, stationery expenses, postage expenses, by any name. To operate the business, we have to done many kind of the expenses and many kind of the incomes. If we are paying the particular, that is termed as expenses, and if we are receiving the particular, that is termed as a income. Is it clear? And all, whether we are receiving, whether we are paying, these all are termed as income and expenses, and all the account related to income, profit, expenses and losses are termed as a nominal account. Is it clear? The golden rule of a nominal account we will discuss here. The golden rule. Golden rule related to nominal account. Debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and profit. That is the golden rule for nominal account, because expenses and losses, income and profit included in this account. Suppose rule, debit all expenses and losses. If you are making any kind of expenses or making any kind of loss, it will be recorded. Credit all income and profit. If you are generating or receiving any kind of income or profit, it will be credited. For example, salary paid rupees 10,000. So here the salary is the name of expenses, because we are paying. I told you, whatever we are paying to other person, that is termed as an expenses. So here salary we are paying, that is an expenses, and debit all expenses. So salary account will be debit. Here instead of salary may be rent. Rent paid rupees 10,000. So rent account will be debited. Later on, second example, commission received rupees 5,000. We received commission. Commission we have received from third party. We are receiving, that's why it is an income. If commission is paying to third party, that is an expenses. If we are receiving the commission, that is an income. So commission is received. Commission received is an income for the us. Credit all income and profit. So here commission is income, that's why it will be credit. It will be credited. I hope you understood the various types, how, what type of account included in different type of accounts, and what golden rule will be applied to record the transaction related to personal, real and nominal account. I hope you understood. Thanks and have a nice day.